He's an artist, okay? He's a comic strip artist. His most famous comic strip is called Dilbert. It's like an office comic. If you've ever seen the guy with the glasses and the curly hair, and he's got this little tie that just kind of goes up at the end, it's like a hook. That's Dilbert, okay? So this is the author of Dilbert. He also has a YouTube channel that I don't know, is it every day or every week or something? Regularly, he posts like a coffee time with Scott Adams. And we got our coffee here. Let me get my coffee so that I'm ready for this too, okay? All right. So we're going to drink a little coffee with Scott Adams, and we're going to find out what Scott Adams is up to lately, because I don't know if you've noticed this, right? But his name is trending. All right. If you go to Twitter, you go to, any of the places where you check, what's trending, you're going to see Scott Adams trending. You're going to see Dilbert canceled trending. What is that all about? Well, let me enlighten you. Okay. Scott Adams had a little take, right? He read a Rassmussen poll. And now this is a weird poll, right? Rassmussen, if you don't know, is a right-wing media outfit, okay? They do polls, they do a bunch of stuff. And they ask the question, is it okay to be white? Anybody recognize that slogan? Anybody recognize that phrase? It's a phrase that that racist people use to imply that people are that there's some like the implication being that that there's like anti-white racism is a big thing, and it's concerning, and right, so like, right, it's a kind of a trick question, like much like Matt Walsh is like, what is a woman? Is it okay to be white? It's like a way that racists agitate, right? So they made this question, this slogan, this garbage into a poll question, and they asked people about it, and they got results, and they broke them down by race, like, right? And Scott Adams here is going to read this poll and let us see how he reacts. If I can ever get this to actually start. What is going on here? Okay. And look. Do you see what links that we've gone to here? So this is Zara's work, right? We're going to watch... We're going to watch Scott Adams at a safe distance, because I don't see any of these clips on Twitter, okay? I don't see any of these clips on Twitter, and that to me says that maybe somebody's serving takedowns on this content. Maybe Scott Adams does not want his shame to be spread around. Yeah, thank you so much, Hobby Hoof, and doesn't want people to know about what he said, or wants to punish people for bringing attention to what he said. Just like Xander Hall likes to punish people for bringing attention to what he said, only Scott Adams here is legitimately a Trumpy and a right-winger. So credit where credit is due. Objectively worse than Xander Hall.
Well, Rassmussen poll had a provocative little poll today. They said, do you agree or disagree with the statement, it's okay to be white? That was an actual question. Rassmussen asked, white and black voters.
Like, I think it's weird that it's an actual question too, because it's also, the fact that the source of it is a decidedly racist one. That seems like a strange question to ask in a poll.
And probably others. Do you disagree or agree with the statement, it's okay to be white? 26% of blacks said no. It's not okay to be white.
It's not weird coming from them. Here's the thing, though. Rassmussen is right wing, okay? But like, if I'm gonna guess that what happened was that somebody wrote this poll question, and the higher ups didn't realize what the source of this is. Like, where did this idea come from? In other words, they hadn't heard the dog whistle before, right? Because in general, the last thing a right-wing media source, a mainstream, right? This isn't the Daily Wire. This isn't a decidedly, they don't represent themselves as being right-wing. They just are, right? So this was Rassmussen, and like, I don't think they knew what they were dealing with, but somebody in their organization did. There was some crypto in their organization that was like, oh, I got a good idea for the poll question. Why don't we ask da 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 da? And that's how it happened. That's my best guess for how this went down.
21% weren't sure. Add them together, that is 47% of black respondents were not willing to say. 7% of black respondents no. 26% of black others do you disagree or agree with the statement, it's okay to be white? 26% of blacks said no. It's not okay to be white. 21% weren't sure. Add them together, that is 47% of black respondents were not willing to say it's okay to be white. That actually, that's like a real poll. This just happened. Did you have any idea? Would you have imagined that that could have happened? So I realized, as you know, I've been identifying as black for a while, years now, because I like to be on the...
He's been identifying as black for years now. Okay, so this is what we're dealing with here, right? This is Scott Adams. Okay, I'm gonna turn him around again because I do not want this guy to try to copyright claim me.
Winning team, and I like to help. And I always thought, well, if you help...
He likes to help, so he decided to identify as black. Oh yeah, good to see you, Amanda. Yeah, that's what he said. My dude said he identifies as black. Yeah.
The black community, that's sort of the biggest lever. You know, you can find the biggest benefit. So I thought, well, that's the hardest thing.
Oh, so for the good of the black community, he's identifying as black. I see.
And the biggest benefit. So I like to focus a lot of my
biggest benefit. That makes sense. No.
Life resources in helping black Americans. So much so that I started identifying as black to just be on the team I was helping.
He wanted to be on the team that he's helping. What the hell?
But it turns out that nearly half of that team doesn't think I'm okay to be white, which is, of course.
But wait, if you identify as, oh my God, I don't even want to go there. Oh my God, what is up with this guy? Right? He knows damn well he's filling out the white box on the census. Biggest benefit? Yeah, be on the team. Yeah, this is wild.
I identified as black so I could be on the winning team for a while. But
winning team for a while? Wait, what is the prize? Like deadly police violence? Is that like the winning team? Like what are you talking about, Scott? What are you talking about?
I have to say, this is the first political poll that ever changed my activities. I don't know that that's ever happened before. You know, normally you see a poll, you just look at it, you go, whatever. You know, oh, this is interesting what other people think. But as of today, I'm going to re-identify as white because I don't want to be a member of a hate group. I'd accidentally joined a hate group.
So by identifying as black, he accidentally joined a hate group. And this is because Rassmussen ran a poll based on a white supremacist talking point, right? And they ask a question that is literally like agitprop for the alt-right, okay? And the fact that only 53% of black people, according to this poll, answered affirmatively, yes, it is okay. You know, like in other words, 53% of the people have not heard of this dog whistle, right? Because this is a very niche, like, you know, alt-right dog whistle that we're dealing with here, right? And you know, like part of the rest of them were like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, in other words, like they did not give an answer. And then part of them were like, you know, no as in F you, right? Like, what the fuck are you asking me this for, right? But this was taken by Scott Adams. Again, this is the artist behind Dilbert, right? So Dilbert, the comic strip, right? Still running, I guess, in papers, or at least it was, right? So after this toxicity, what is it, like 77 papers and counting, so there's probably more now, have taken his comic strip out of their newspaper. So for people who still read newspapers, that, you know, you're going to miss out on your Dilbert strip, and you're going to be really sad because he had this fucking Takemeister here, right? This isn't even the wackiest thing that Scott Adams has said. Oh my God, what is the wackiest thing that Dilbert fans in shambles? Yeah, what is this? The absolute caucasity of it all, right? This is so wild. Horrifically racist, yes. This is, I don't know what to say. Dilbert has always sucks. Well, yeah, I've never really read it, Sam, but I will take your word for it, right? Can Dilbert be the new pejorative for people like this? I mean, that sounds reasonable to me. A lot more reasonable than Scott Adams' take here. Sorry, boomers, no more Dilbert for you. This is like, I don't know. How many people still read newspapers anyway? I don't really feel like he's missing out on that much. This is some legacy media, and you know, he's a niche within that, and it's a list of wild ass statements. Oh my God. Well, see, now I'm interested, right? Now we're gonna have to look at Scott Adams's, like we're gonna have to come back to the well, is what I'm trying to say. We're gonna have to look and look again, because apparently this guy just keeps giving. Let's see what else he has to say. I feel like he's not done yet. I feel like he's still got some more.
If, you know, nearly half of all blacks are not okay with white people, according to this poll, not according to me, according to this poll, that's a hate group. That's a hate group. And I don't want to have anything to do with them. And I would say, you know, based on the current way things are going, the best advice I would give to white people is to get the hell away from black people. Just get the fuck away. Wherever you have to go, just get away. Because there's no fixing this. This can't be fixed.
I mean, yeah, you probably have done irreparable damage to your brand. I don't think this can be fixed. I think that, like, look, Xander Hall was talking about earlier the different choices that somebody has when they say something edgy. Now, this is edgy on a whole nother level. I don't think that, I'm sure Xander Hall doesn't approve of this, right? But yeah, you know, he's being edgy and he's got a choice. Does he want to like leave the internet? Does he want to tank it like Vosh does? Does he want to like give in to the woke scolds and say, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said the weird racist stuff that I said. I don't know what was going on, but I'm willing to learn. Or, you know, like, right, there's his choices. Like, I would say that this guy doesn't have much of a choice. Now, before this, okay, so we're looking at a video of his, right? He puts out hour-long videos where he sits down, gets his coffee and says, all right, let's all drink coffee together. All the boomers drink, you know, drink your coffee, okay? And then he talks about, like, you know, what's going on, right? And this is just another instance of that. Usually his videos get 20,000 views on him, right? So this is a big, you know, famous comic strip author getting, you know, like 20,000 views on his video. Let's be real. He's not doing that well on YouTube. This video, however, 250,000 and counting, right? So you see 20K, 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 250,000. All right. Now that's, I don't think that, like, I don't think this is going to be like a lasting thing. This is just like, you know, the celebration of this guy, you know, like losing his platform on newspapers, right? Type in Scott Adams male encounter, and Scott has said on Twitter he had a gun pointed to his head. Wait, what? What is this about? Don't worry, he'll say sorry and he'll get all the Whiteley. Yeah, he'll no, I don't know. I think even at this point, Whiteley, like, you know, in all seriousness, right? This is like, and I do recognize the difference between like a straight up right-wing weird chimp like Scott Adams and like edgy loser leftists like Vosh, or, you know, like, right. I'm not trying to make an equivalency. We just went from one content to the other, and I'm, you know, relating them. But yeah, like being real, this is on a whole nother level.
Right, this can't be fixed. You just have to escape. So that's what I did. I went to a neighborhood where, you know, I have a very low black population. Because unfortunately, you know, there's a high correlation between the density and this is according to Don Lemon, by the way. So here I'm just quoting Don Lemon when he notes that when he lived in a mostly black neighborhood, there were a bunch of problems that he didn't see in white neighborhoods.
So look, I found it sounds like he's trying to excuse his anti-black racism by finding I don't know how to explain this. I don't know how to explain this, right? But yeah, this is what he's telling you.
So even Don Lemon sees a big difference in your own quality of living based on where you live and who's there. So I think it makes no sense whatsoever as a white citizen of America to try to help black citizens.
This whole video is a joke, and the punchline is basically racism. True, yeah. True.
It doesn't make sense. It's no longer a rational impulse. And so I'm going to...
Slurs and racist attacks are what people turn to when they don't have a smart argument to retort back to whatever white supremacist base point on which they have been challenged.
I'm going to back off from being helpful to black America because it doesn't seem like it pays off.
Yeah. I am sure that black America will be okay. All right? I don't know what help you thought that you were providing to black America, but I think they're going to be all right. I think they're going to be okay without you. Yeah?
Like I've been doing it all my life.
Oh my God.
The only outcome is I get called a racist. That's the only outcome. It makes no sense to help black Americans if you're white. It's over. Don't even think it's worth trying. Totally not.
No, Sam, listen, right-wingers are fighting over $50 million contracts, right? And you got people like Vosh and Zanderhall saying, hey, they might be right on some things. You all are kind of woke skulls. You got people like Vosh and Zanderhall literally recycling Benny Shapiro talking points, okay? That's what woke skulled is. When you're calling people woke skulls, you're using a Ben Shapiro meme. Right? Because Vosh unironically thought that Ben Shapiro was right on that. Yes, there are woke skulls. They are very bad. We need to make fun of them as such, right? So I would say that the onus is on you to explain why you're supporting content creators who kind of think that like the problem with the left is it's just not enough like the right. Who think that the solution for the right wing, you know, having success in certain ways being, you know, largely astroturfed is that we should wave the white flag on certain issues, right? And just give in on those. We'll go ahead and say, yes, reverse racism is a real thing, just like that. That's a Vosh talking point, right? That was Vosh's whole thing with Professor Flowers, accusing Professor Flowers of reverse racism. They do it all the fucking time. These jokers, these loser leftists have raised the white flag to assholes like this, right? Their answer to this kind of right-wing bullshit, this kind of scary-ass racism, it is like, let's just give a little ground on this. If we could just be a little bit more like the right wing, maybe the right wing wouldn't hate us so much, right? We could bring more people over from the right if we just tell them, yeah, no, fine. You don't have to change anything. Just relabel yourself as leftist like we did, and we'll be cool. Now, granted, this is on a whole nother level, right? This is on a whole nother level, but I feel like the weak-ass shit that you know, Vosh, Zan, Demon Mama, etc. are bringing forward, the kind of complicity with this crap, right? The you know, parallels to their talking points, you know, like I don't think that standing down to these people is a successful strategy. But hey, if you're a loser leftist, you're cool with that, right? That's your problem, is you're like, you know what? The left wing just needs to accept more edgy shit, right? And maybe maybe this guy's weird takes aren't as bad as we thought they are, right? I don't know. I don't know.
Like, I'm not saying start a war or, you know, do anything bad, nothing like that. I'm just saying get away. Just get away.
Yo, right wing is like broken clock twice a day. Unironically, Sam in our YouTube chat thinks that the right wing has some points. Yo, I mean, like, there really are some woke skulls. All right, cool. That's really cool. Thank you for taking your mask off for us and letting us see what a Vosh Zan fan looks like underneath. That's. Thank you for becoming an object lesson for me today. It's very helpful.
And here's my take on all of it. Everybody who focuses their priority on education does well. If anybody in the black community focuses on education,
I almost spit my coffee.
Because the system allows that. If they don't,
I almost spit out my coffee.
That's my problem anymore. It just can't be my problem. It can't be my problem if the solution is so clear, so available,
Look, like Sam, I'm being a little bit mean to you, but I want to let you know you have an option too, okay? And all Vosh Xander Hall fans have this option open to them, right? Now, what I always see is you're like, Vosh is right, Vosh is based. I don't see the problem, right? That's what I see time after time. You also have the option to say, hey, you know what? On this thing, I don't agree with Vosh. I think he's wrong on this. But I still find him to be a useful whatever, you know, whatever you want to say. He's good on this, and this issue. That's perfectly valid if you want to say that, right? But you're in a cult of personality, right? So it might be a little harder for you to say that. If you say that, you're going to get a lot of pushback from everybody in that community, right? You're not going to be a good Vosh fan. You're not going to be in good standing, and you might even get purged, right? You might even be like the millions of people. Like Vosh had millions of people watching. You might be like one of the hundreds of people who got purged from Vosh's community in the thought slime, the thought slime train wreck stream that Vosh had, right? You might get washed out, right? And you might have to choose another community, right? I don't know, but that's always an option that's open for you. You don't have to rubber stamp everything that he says, and as long as you do, you're gonna look kind of silly, okay? And you're going to feel kind of silly. And I think that's something that you kind of just need to sit with and ponder and think about it. What is so great about Vosh's personality, right? What kind of parasocial attachment do you have to him that you are willing to look like a clown to all those who are not up his butt as much as you are, right? That's what you got to deal with. That's your choice, right? It's your choice for you to make. And I don't hate you. I don't hate Vosh. I don't hate Xander Hall. This isn't about hate. I'm not trying to judge you. I'm just giving you, reality here. And having been, in that cult of personality, you might not be acquainted, but, reality's still out here, and you can check in anytime you want to. And give it a try and see that it's actually safe, and that maybe you like reality better than that suffocating space that is the Vosh personality cult. I don't know.
And people don't want to take it. It's just not my problem anymore. So I resigned. I resigned from the hate group called Black Americans, according to the Rassmussen poll.
So you heard it from Scott Adams first. He's no longer black.
46% of them don't think white people are okay, just being white, and there we go. You didn't expect that today, did you?
No, you're right, Scott. I didn't expect that today at all.
But the most helpful thing I can do is to say I'm not going to help. Do you understand?
Okay, I think black people will be okay without your help.
Continuing.
I don't know what this guy means by help, right? I don't know what help he thinks he's offered black people, but I think black people are going to be okay without him, right? Ben Shapiro had a close relationship with Mr. Feeney. Are we taking bets on whether this eventually there's eventually a actually Scott Adams gets something right? Yo, I don't know. Look, like I said, I'm not trying to put that on them, okay? But I mean, that is the road they're headed down, right? Like, we unironically just heard a Vosh fan say, yo, sometimes Ben Shapiro gets shit right. You know what I mean? Right? Okay. Vosh has said black people are way more homophobic than whites. And Zan has said most black people are... Scott is literally the logical endpoint of... Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. That is the road that they're walking down. I'm not going to say that they're there yet, right? I liked Vosh for a few years, but his community kept looking more and more like Dilbert fans. That could be our new word is Dilbert fans to
help in that sort of classic. Oh, let me help you, give you a lift up, give you a hand, mentor you, hire you, prefer you. I'm going to stop all of that. I'm done.
Oh my God, there's so many good comments I missed here. Dilbert, more like apartheid Bert.
All of that. Yeah, no, it didn't work. The only thing that will work is to say you got to fix your own problem. You know how to do it. Everybody else.
This is beyond the pizza cutter. Yeah, true.
I'm not going to speculate, why you're
gets progressively worse from him.
Not doing it. I'm not going to speculate why there's a difference. I'm just going to say it's available to everybody. You just pick it up. It's free money. Focus on education, and you could have a good life too.
Oh my God, it's free money. You just focus like that. Like, I love this guy's standpoint. Like, right? He's sitting in this expensive house telling you that if you want to be wealthy, all you got to do is focus on education, and implying that like just like black people just weren't thinking of this, right? And they need to hear it from him. Focus on education and you can have a nice kitchen like me. Next it out.
You don't want to focus on education. You just need to get away from them. Just get as much distance as you can.
And get away from black people. There we go. That's his advice.
That's my recommendation.
Okay, Scott.
And I'm also really sick of seeing video after video of black Americans beating
Tell us more about this free money out there, Scott Adams, right? I want to know about this.
up non-black citizens.
What did he just say? Oh my god, I gotta roll that back. I'm sorry, chat. I know this is horrible, but like what did he just say?
Recommendation. And I'm also really sick of seeing video after video of black Americans beating up non-black citizens.
I'm sick of seeing videos of black Americans. Do you see what a self-report that is? Right, just like Xander Hall said, you know, when he looks at the online sphere, he sees that you know, one of the perks of being a lefty is that you can feel smarter than the vast majority of people out there that are right wingers. That tells you Xander Hall's, like, you know, social media feeds are primarily right wing, right? And that says something about him. Now we've got Scott Adams, the creator of Dilbert, telling us that when he looks at his social media feed, he sees black people beating up white people? You're watching agitprop. I don't know what to tell you, right? And literally that's what this Rassmussen poll is. That's literally what this is. This is alt-right agitprop, right? That he's consumed. And he thinks that this is reality. He thinks that his social media feed is reality. He doesn't realize that he has cultivated this vision of reality, which is fundamentally fash. So, damn. Free money? How am I missing it? Yeah, I know, right? He says black people, but white. Oh my God, I didn't even catch that, JT. Good point. It says black people, but white citizens. I've had a good education in how things work when people find out, but I'm not white. I think he's more than a brain dead libertarian. Sam, like, do you not realize like that you're kind of underestimating this guy's power level? And what does that tell us about your social media feed, right? Now, obviously, you see you don't agree with him. Like, I am not going to mischaracterize your viewpoint. Like, I get that you disagree with Scott Adams, okay? But when you see him and say, like, yeah, it's a right-wing libertarian here, when the guy's doing, like, alt-right, you know, fashy agitprop, I'm sorry, you're underestimating his power level.
You know, I realize it's anecdotal, and it, you know, doesn't give me a full picture of
like, what I'm saying is you've been presented with like a skewed picture, right? And so you've got a new normal, and your new normal sees a far right sussy baka like this as just a right wing libertarian.
What's happening, but every damn day I look out on social media and there's some black person beating the shit out of some white person. I'm kind of over it. I'm over it, right? So I quit. And it feels good not to be in a racist hate group anymore. So I'm now independent, not a member of any group. I do not align with any group, not the white supremacists and not the black racists.
He's transcended race, I guess.
All right. Christopher Rufo reports that Biden.
The thing is, when you're repeating, like, you know, when you're repeating racist agitprop like this, it doesn't matter whether you identify as a far right racist, right? It literally doesn't matter.
Signed a new executive order creating a national DEI bureaucracy. Basically, all of the government entities need to be focusing on diversity, equity, and I as inclusion, I guess. And a special mandate.
It reminds me of Benny Johnson complaining about how he gets nothing but gay cruise ads. Oh my God. Yeah, it's the same thing, right? You know, it's like your algorithm kind of knows you, right? Like, no, granted, there's some exceptions, right? Like, I think that the YouTube Shorts algorithm is like legitimately, like, I think that somehow YouTube's shorts must be trying to be the anti-TikTok, right? TikTok being perceived as being, you know, kind of left wing, kind of, and then, you know, YouTube is trying to occupy that the right wing, you know, version of the right wing antecedent to that.
For AI. And the order instructs the federal government to, quote, protect the public from algorithmic discrimination and to deploy AI systems in a manner that advances equity. Wow.
Wow.
I don't think I've ever heard a worse idea. Have you? Now, I like equity. All things being equal, equity is good. Wouldn't it be good if everybody, you know, put the same amount in and got the same amount out? You know, some kind of equity of that nature would be good. But if any part of the government is focusing on equity over, let's say, effectiveness, you're really screwed. You're really screwed. Oh my God. I can't even imagine a worse idea. Now,
so if it's more effective to run a like racist oriented society, then I guess we can forget about equity.
do you remember I told you that AI?
Efficient according to who, right? Though, like that's the question. Like, you know, who is this efficiency benefiting? And I think that if you are an actual leftist rather than a you know, loser leftist, you can identify the beneficiary of this supposed efficiency.
If it ever told you the truth, you would have to make it illegal, right? It just happened. It literally just happened. In effect, Biden made it illegal for the AI to tell the truth, as it sees it. I'm not saying it's my truth.
Okay, I'm lost here. This is too much. Okay, like, look, we're at a point where, like, I think we, like, need... Like, I feel like we need a... not... We need some kind of, what is this called? Palette cleanser. That shit. Okay, so if you're wondering why is Scott Adams canceled, why is Dilbert getting, you know, kicked out of, Dilbert's getting kicked out of newspapers, that's why. That is why. Best of Ninochka.
If I choose to go for the American title, of course I will win it. And I think it is good to show the American people who is really strongest, which of course is Russia.
Of course, of course.
Yeah, Russia, Colonel Nanochka.
Okay, so chat, this is Colonel Nanochka. This is who I will cosplay to my best ability. That I'm serious about, like, you know, even like trying to dye my hair.
Vladimir, where have you been all this time? Researching information about America's finest military brain. And you think if we capture him, these puny capitalists will be rendered helpless? What is name of this leader? General Electric. Keep it up, Vladimir, and it's back to graveyard shift in salt mine. That mountain figure is truly big woman.
Okay, like, minus the fat phobia, maybe. Minus the fat phobia.
So big, they have to take her measurements on Richter scale. Ah!
Yeah, that's Colonel Nanochka. This is a real... So if you've seen the Glow Netflix show, there's a character that is... There's a character named Zoya the Destroyer, and she's based on Colonel Nanochka. This is the original...
Nanochka!
The original Kami Babe wrestler.
Colonel Inochka is how I am known. And please don't say, Kami, go home. You boo me, you hate me all the time. You will pay, you capitalist.
Oh my god. She's got bars too.
Opponent at 138 pounds from the great state of Texas, Dallas. Colonel Nanitska, this is a Texas barroom brawl. Anything goes in this match.
What is Texas barroom brawl? I don't understand. In Russia we don't have this kitty. How can you arrange for a match like this for me?
This match was signed. It's a Texas barroom brawl. Anything goes, Colonel Nanitska. Anything goes.
I am wrestler. What? I don't understand.
Anything goes in this bout.
Okay, so yeah, like I mean, I don't know, like like I don't know how much Twitch like like this is obviously not real violence. This is pro wrestling. But yeah, she's participating in a Texas barroom brawl. Okay. So here's the like.
Vladimir, you are.
And look at this. Just like me, she gets calls on the phone from from 3-letter organizations, right? And talks to Vladimir.
Very late with your report. Explain this. You got on the wrong bus and fell asleep until the end of the line. Where are you now? Lost? Don't worry, Vladimir. I will find you. Just tell me what street you are on. You are on the corner.
This is the future the left wants.
Walk. And don't walk. Vladimir, stay right there. I'm sending car immediately. And I hope it hits you. This farmer's daughter says she comes from very agricultural area.
That's true. Her hometown is so rural, the zip code is E-I-E-I-O.
Okay, so yeah, that's just a taste of the cosplay that I will do when we get to 200 subs. So you have that to look forward to. Is this in the 80s? Yes, this is in the 80s. NCC, the Kami Babe anime. I love it. I love it. Okay, so yeah, you're gonna. I wish I was 138 pounds. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, so yeah, puny capitalist. That's right. We got the puny capitalist. All right. So Scott Adams canceled himself. Xander Hall defended Keffels. What else do we have, right? What else do I have for you? I do have some HelloFresh. I want to open my box for you. Did I just say I want to open my box for you? I'm not trying to be like Horty on Main, but I mean, you know, if it works, if it gets the job done. Yeah, what do we even have here? Like I actually am having to Matt Walsh, Jeffree Star. Oh my god, chat. Yeah, I think that's what's next. Matt Walsh, Jeffree Star. Are you ready? Are you ready? Matt Walsh has been up to some shit lately, right? So if you don't know, Matt Walsh, he does a weekly segment called Cancelled Walsh. And right, since the right-wingers hate that the left wing does cancel culture, that Matt Walsh likes to get some strike back by canceling lefties. And every week, Matt Walsh cancels a new lefty and tells us, tells us why they're canceled. But this week, 4 days ago, who should show up in Canceled but one Jeffree Star? Do we all know Jeffree Star? So Jeffree Star, the funny thing about Jeffree Star, right, is that Jeffree Star has already been canceled. Jeffree Star does not need Matt Walsh to cancel him. Jeffree Star's like a predator, right? Jeffree Star is like, yikes. But anyway, oh my god. Well, I mean, I guess we'll watch this first, and then we can watch the source material that this comes from. Jeffree Star went on a right-wing podcast a week ago, and said that the they them pronouns are BS. They're silly. They're just things that people came up with during the pandemic when we were all bored as hell. We made up they them pronouns, and they don't really exist. And anyway, then tells the right-wing host that, you know, I can say this, right? I am the vessel for your non-binary phobia.
Today for our daily cancellation, I must again, unfortunately, cancel people on my own side, or at least theoretically
Well, at least you're giving like that.
on my own side. These are the conservatives who, over the past few days, have been frantically applauding their latest hero, their newly elected spokesman, their trendiest new conservative champion, Jeffree Star.
Jeffree Star, the latest conservative champion. Okay, so like we'll oh my gosh, I almost feel like I should have watched this first. You like my HelloFresh code has Pog in the, of course it has Pog. I'm Pog as fuck over here, right? Based Blair White, but somehow worse. Well, no, Jeffree Star. Wait, it is. Let me get this right, okay? Jeffree Star, like, not trans, right? I don't know that much about Jeffree Star. Yeah, Jeffree Star runs a makeup line, and that's what did Jeffree Star become famous for? Oh yeah, no. So Jeffree Star is like old internet, like, right? This is going back to like to MySpace and stuff like that, right? Conservatives don't know the difference. Well, he knows the difference. Does he know the difference? Let's see.
And for those unfamiliar, as I was until 2 days ago, Star is a social media influencer and owner of a popular, I think, cosmetics brand. Star also enjoys dressing like a woman. But this flamboyant...
So, like, would you... What... It is... He uses he, him pronouns, as far as I know. He is cis. Does he, like, identify as a femboy? I'm not even sure. We're going to talk about Woodstock 99. Oh my god, we got to do that sometime. Somebody sent me that. Oh wait, but it was from a big... Oh my god, it was from one of those things that, like, DMCA's people...
cross-dressing makeup salesman earned applause from many on the right, including prominent figures on the right, when he appeared on a podcast and said this.
I'm not into all the other I think...
What other
the they and them.
Yeah.
And all that extra that we added during the pandemic because everyone was so bored on their houses.
That's kind of funny that Jeffree Star is so out of touch that he thinks that they them pronouns were invented during the pandemic. We found an okay one to watch. Oh, you found an okay one to watch. Nice. Jeffree Star is cis and a right-wing reactionary. So this is Jeffree Star's. Okay, so the makeup vids were good. Yeah, like, so
They just started to make up more and more
stuff.
Yeah.
but yeah, there's a lot of yikes to Jeffree Star.
That's where like conservatives like me because I'm just real.
Yeah, you do have a conservative
you're not
vibe to
they
you.
Them. You're trans, you're male or you're female.
And you're standing on
people
that.
get so mad when I say that. How are you a they? What the does that mean? It's stupid is what it is.
Yeah.
So yeah, some pretty harsh words for non-binary people here.
But you need someone like me that looks like me to say it. Because if you say it, it turns into you're homophobic, you hate trans people, you hate gays. And it's just how you feel. You don't hate anyone. You just think it's stupid.
Now that, well, you just...
So, I mean, like, you know, what is... I mean, you wouldn't call Jeffree Star like a pick-me, right? Because we're not talking about like a trans person, but...
heard makes Jeffree Star based, apparently. He's based now. He said one thing that conservatives like, and they were on the scene with pom-poms in no time. And yes, Star is right that the they-them stuff is BS, of course. Obviously. But the...
So this is Matt Walsh saying a broken clock is right like once or twice a day.
problem, one of them anyway, is that he rejects non-binary while affirming trans. He says that the only...
Oh, I see. Okay, so Jeffree Star, not based because he only hates non-binary people. He says like transphobia, like it's a bad thing. Oh, or yeah, and it's not. According to Matt Walsh, the transphobia is what is based. So Jeffree Star does not rise to the level of being based because he's just NB-phobic. and not fully, not phobic of the entire. Oh my God.
Only valid categories are
You're destroying my brain. Like, look. Xander Hall destroyed my brain. Xander Hall took a shit in my brain. Fucking Scott Adams destroyed me, and now Matt Walsh is gonna destroy me. I'm just getting blown away today. I can't take this. I can't take this. This is wild.
And to drive that point home, he made another video responding to the backlash against his.
Oh, so Jeffree Star gets in trouble for trying to wriggle out of the fucked up take that he had by saying, I'm not transphobic.
Anti-they, them.
Oh my God. He lives in a huge country estate in Wyoming. Wait, it is NBA erasure? Oh, I'm so confused now. I'm so cringy MySpace songs. Thank you, Nino Bofina. That is what Jeffree Star got famous for. Cringy MySpace songs. Wow. Last night I interviewed my friend about her experience at Woodstock 99. I probably need to see the vid before watching that. Yeah, I'll take a look at your interview. But it sounds like I need to watch that vid. Yeah, that's probably what we need is a palate cleanser like of that. I would like to educate Jeffree about universal public friend, a well-documented non-binary person who lived in America in the 1700s. So again, non-binary is not a new thing. What does they mean? Oh my God. Jeffree Star, you are transphobic and homophobic. Here's the... Okay, Shakespeare, send that to me on Discord because I'm going to have to watch it in a second. I've got a few things. We got to get through this Jeffree Star content.
Commentary where he reiterated...
Wow, chat really wants me to watch Woodstock 99. Damn.
His support for and belief in transgenderism. Here it is.
I just went on and I saw...
Transgenderism. Okay, so listen, when your friends, whether they be debate bros or whether they be, misguided trans allies, right? When they say transgenderism like it's a thing, please remind them, please police their language and say that transgenderism is not a thing. Like, transgender people are not an ideology. Transgender people are people. And if you're against transgender people, your ass is transphobic. You are not against an ideology. We are not an ideology. Our existence is not up for debate. Okay, this is why. And people will call me a woke scold. Or like, oh God, they're on your side. They just said transgenderism. Are you really going to get up in their face? Yes, I am. Okay, not in a mean way, and it doesn't need to be it like that. Like, I mean, sometimes these do end up as confrontations, but that's all in the person whether they're going to be receptive to this or not. But please do not let people just get away with saying transgenderism like it's a thing. That's a right-wing meme. That's a right-wing meme. And when we let the right-wing memes and the right-wing brainworms run wild in left-wing spaces, you end up with shitty communities like Vosh and Xanderhalls, okay? These are people that are like, they don't want to police your language. They don't want to make you uncomfortable. They want to make marginalized people uncomfortable. They want to make like non-binary people uncomfortable. They want to make trans people uncomfortable by insisting on accepting shit like this that we should not accept. There's an agenda. Yes, to the word transgenderism, right? And that is an agenda that you should not be letting in the door.
A few outlets saying that I'm transphobic. Jeffree Star, who has 5 transgender employees.
That is like, I marched in 3 pride parades. Holy shit. Whoa, did you hear that? 5 transgender employees. How could I possibly, if I had 4 transgender employees, maybe you might have a case there, but I have 5 of them, okay? That is the threshold beyond which you cannot call me transphobic, okay? I have 5 transgender employees. I have marched in 3 pride parades. How dare you? How dare you call me transphobic?
I have over 100 employees of all different ethnicities. A brand that is inclusive.
I mean, like, yeah, trans identity, like, right? Like the thing is, we don't want to be reduced even to like a phenomenon. It's like, then this is how they try to weasel away. If they can say they are against transgenderism, that is like their opinion, bro. That is a philosophy that they do not like, and they are just stating that they do not like the philosophy. In actuality, it is people that they hate, trans people that they hate. When they're using words like that, those are weaselly little liar words, right? And don't let them get away with that.
the entire world, what we're not going to do is lie. So if you posted an
Oh
article
my God, Zara, I hired 3 black mates. How am I racist?
saying anything like that,
I exploit 5 trans people for profit. How am I transphobic? If your left-wing movement makes marginalized people uncomfortable, it's useless. Yeah, we're supposed to be building solidarity. How can you do that when you're telling marginalized people to sit down and shut up and stop policing our language, right?
you better delete it, Miss Thing, because I'm coming. All I said was I don't agree.
You better delete it, Miss Thing. Are you talking to me? I literally posted something like this. Are you coming? Jeffree Star. Okay, first of all, am I Miss Thing? If so, thank you. Thank you for calling me Miss Thing. I will accept that title. And second of all, are you really coming for me? Because if you're coming for me, I better get ready, okay? I need to, I don't know. I gotta make sure that,
Agree with pronouns. That's it. So you know how Cardi
I gotta make sure that I'm ready for you to come for me.
B sued that woman, and well, the lady don't have any money, but Cardi B won allegedly a lot of money from the lawsuit.
What? Are we attacking Cardi B now? Weasel. Weasel's in chat. Yeah, he better not miss if he's going to come at the queen. That's right. You better not miss, because then I'll have a huge laundry bill, and I will be sticking you with that laundry bill. Yeah, I will be. Yeah, the dry cleaning. Okay, I'm gonna need you to take care of the dry cleaning. If you come for the queen and you miss, you're gonna have to pay for the dry cleaning. Okay?
Even though she'll never get it, it's still the point of she won. That was
Oh my
phenomenal
God.
for someone like me that has been abused and dragged through the
I'm not transphobic. I exploit the labor of a few trans people.
mud. Now we all know all my past mistakes, girl. Every time that I
Hey, Sam, you know transcribers? I believe you. Yeah, like I'm from Twitch politics, okay? That's where I got my start, right? We do YouTube now. We're branching out. We're getting bigger. We're getting better. We're getting escape velocity. Soon, I'm not going to even have to talk about the debate bros that much more, okay? Like, right, we're getting escape velocity from all this shit. So, but yeah, I too know trans grippers, like really right-wing weirdos from Twitch politics. I want to get the heck away from that.
have an opinion, everyone has to bring up everything from the past.
I know a good dry cleaning is very expensive.
That's getting so old, but the support and the understanding and the common sense from millions of people that I've seen over the last few days, it made me realize the planet's not that awful. Like, people get it. It's just social media, and they love to drag Miss Jeffree Lynn. Also, shout out to so many amazing, beautiful.
Okay, so don't get confused by the Miss Jeffree Lynn. That is like that's a different usage of that, right? It's like I mean, if you've been around queer culture enough, you understand that, right? Since when is Jeffree Star still relevant? They brought him. Wait, when did he? Oh, because he went on a right-wing talk show. Yeah, he's grifting on the right now. That's why Jeffree Star is relevant again, unfortunately, right? Yeah.
Transgender people and the LGBT community in my DMs writing me, just thank you.
I'm sorry about that.
Jesus Christ, who fucking wrote Jeffree Star and said, "Hey, you're all right. If you wanna dehumanize non-binary people, go right ahead. Go right ahead."
This is just too much. Between this guy and the
Jeffree Star, you are garbage and your makeup is boring. Oh,
Glory
I
Johnson
love the shade. I love it.
tweet. It's just the amount of brain cells we're losing. It's like the effect of a concussion. We all.
I mean, I'm feeling that effect right now, Matt Walsh. I don't know if it's for the same reason as you are, but I doubt it, right? He lives in a big ass house in the middle of some big ass estate of hundreds of acres. He makes money by exploitation of stolen land and oppressed people. We're going where no man or woman has gone before. He's about to get wrecked by the Bart. Oh yeah, hell yeah, by the Barty gang. At this rate, people were done with his shit, and so he moved even more far right. Transmeds and True Scum's gonna wallow in feces like we're back to the poop again. Yeah, Xander Hall got us started on the poop. We can't seem to get out of it.
Now concussed effectively because of the level of stupidity that we've been forced. Well, that I have forced you to encounter today. But very inspiring response from this right-wing warrior who desperately defends himself.
He also made a mysterious post about how he's dating a football player, and people went crazy trying to figure out who that player was.
For from the transphobia claims by bragging about all the trans.
He's the right wing. He's the right wing token non-binary person. Wait, I don't think he but conservatives don't want to accept the fact that NB people exist, so they just call him trans or confused, right? I don't think he's any of those things, right? We can move on to water. Oh my gosh.
People he employs. I suppose it just goes to show that Democrats.
He has yaks. What is he doing with yaks?
Really are the real transphobes. Of course, check back.
What? We're transphobes for stepping up for non-binary people. Good.
In about
No, Matt Walsh, you don't, of all people, you do not get to call people transphobes. Matt Walsh is the negative woke school. I'm legitimately so confused right now, chat. I am legitimately so confused.
5 years, and people on the right will be defending transgenderism.
As far as I know, he's gay, but not any variety of trans. That's what I was trying to, that's what I was trying to get at earlier when I talked. Synchronized shade sounds like a sport I can get behind, yeah?
And non-binary.
Of all the synchronized water sports, that one sounds the most interesting, yeah?
But then claiming that trans speciesism is where they draw the line.
No, Matt, no.
Somehow that position will be applauded as not only correct, but based. See, this is how it works as the Overton window continues its relentless march to the left. What was a fringe left-wing view yesterday suddenly becomes mainstream today, and the fringe today will be mainstream tomorrow. Meanwhile, the oblivious faction of conservatives, a rather large group, unfortunately,
always with the trans speciesist take,
continue to embrace any position that is not at this moment on the
I love that negative woke skull
extreme left-wing fringe.
Use the quotes loosely, yeah.
As long as it's not the most extreme version of leftism, they embrace it. Which means that tomorrow they will embrace whatever is on the extreme left-wing fringe today.
Literally Johnny the Walrus, I guess.
Jeffree Star's conservative defenders have told me that, well, we should accept him into the fold because he is, they say, mostly right about the gender issue.
He raised yaks for the abattoir?
But he's not mostly right. He's not even in the neighborhood of right. He's not,
I feel like Matt Walsh is threatened. Here's what this is. This is a turf war, and I don't mean that kind of turf. I mean TURF war. That's what this is. Matt Walsh does not want Jeffree Star in his lane. That's what's going on. He's jealous. He's like, right-wingers like, yeah, Jeffree Star based, yeah, woo, right? And he's like, no, he's not based at all. What are you talking about? This man is dressed like a femininely. That's not decidedly not based at all. Well, how could you possibly say that this is based? Like, right? All the right-wingers are crowded around Jeffree Star, and Matt Walsh is like, excuse me, nope, I'm the head bigot here. I am the head bigot. Please pay attention to me. That's why he left LA. Wyoming is racist as fuck. Oh, that's why he left. Yeah. NCC LARPing as Matt Walsh is so cursed. I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry. I
he's not in the I don't know what planet he's even on, let alone the neighborhood.
I don't know what planet I'm on right now, if I'm being completely honest. Is this Earth?
He believes that a person can identify as and actually be a member of the opposite sex. He affirms
Oh my God, that's so fucking wild. He's like, trans people exist, and Matt Walsh just like, his head explodes.
Genderism. It's just that he prefers to stick with the term transgender to describe those people and believes that non-binary is extra and redundant.
It's a little too extra. Oh my God.
And he's right that it is redundant, as non-binary.
How is it redundant? I don't get it. How is it redundant? Maybe he feels like conservative movement has moved past the need for using token minorities. He does live in a bubble. The biggest conservatives I know moved to Wyoming, huh? I've heard of a lot of them moving to like Austin becoming the new place for right-wingers to hang out. He also turns the yaks into pet food. Oh my God.
Versus transgenderism.
This 2012's, okay, I am extra, but not because I'm NB.
That is a distinction without a difference. That doesn't make him more right.
Why NB's got to be treated so, it's treated as extra. Why did NB's got to be treated so harsh?
Or closer to the truth. He's not suddenly a defender.
Is this 2012?
Of truth and tradition. Because
is this Woodstock 99?
Prefers to stick with the craziest left-wing ideas from yesterday rather than adopting the craziest ideas from today. In fact, non-binary isn't even really crazier than transgenderism. These terms are, again, redundant. They are versions of the same nonsense. Star prefers using one term.
I mean, wait, No, I literally agree with that statement that like non-binary people are trans. So yeah, that's true. They're not like, you can't like make a oh my God, Matt, you're confusing the hell out of me. Look, I gotta
for the nonsense rather than 2. This apparently is enough to make him our generation's William F. Buckley.
You are so jealous of him.
The left here is using a classic
You wanted to be the William F. Buckley.
You make an outrageous demand. So
you wanted to be the butch beard bro William F. Buckley.
that a slightly less outrageous demand seems reasonable by comparison.
Oh my God.
We should all be familiar with this strategy. It's the oldest one in the book, right? Kids use it all the time. Just a few nights ago, my son came up to me after dinner and said, "Daddy, can we all go get ice cream?"
Wait, is your son Johnny the Walrus? I forgot.
Now, asking me to load all 6 kids in the car after dinner when I already have my sweatpants and slippers on definitely qualifies as an outrageous demand. That's one thing they know. Once the slippers come out, I'm not going anywhere. We are here for the night. So I said no, and then he immediately followed it up with, "Okay, well then can we just watch a movie?" Now, in that case, I knowingly allowed myself to be suckered by the strategy and I let them watch a movie. But on a cultural level, in the battle with the left, we cannot be so easily duped by these kinds of tricks. Just because non-binary
how about
is
that?
arguably
We'll do it
a
after
little
this.
weirder than trans, that doesn't make trans legitimate or any closer to legitimate than it was before.
His kids are terrified of him 100%. Well, it is true that many trans NBs are extra. I'm definitely like I like a super extra large soda. Oh my God, with no ice. Oh, yeah, that's the trick with that, right? If you drink it fast enough, it doesn't matter that there's no ice, right? It's good, like, right? And it doesn't get decarbonated as quickly either. I'm with that. You get more soda with less ice. Absolutely, 100%. Who cares about your kids? What, 6 kids?
It's like if somebody was beating you over.
Oh no, this is a trad thing. This is a trad thing, right? They want to have the quiverful thing. I put a picture of the last time Jeffree Star got in the news in your Discord DMs. I'm gonna click that without even looking at it, Zara. I'm gonna throw caution to the wind. Why do they say? Oh my God, can we look at this? Is this okay? I think this is okay. The last time Jeffree Star was relevant was this time. Remember this? That was the last time that Jeffree Star was relevant. I think Matt Walsh is jealous. Jeffree Star's getting all the attention.
Baseball bat. And then Jeffree Star ran in and said, "No, don't beat him over the head with a baseball bat. Just stomp on his face with your boot instead."
Wait, that seems like more like your style, Matt, right?
Here, I'll help. Now
you're the one dehumanizing people, right? Like I'll leave the baseball bat and boot shit to you.
True that getting stomped is probably a little better than being.
I would rather not. Yeah, I would rather unalive than birth 6 kids. My poor. Oh, ow. Yeah, you're right. 6 kids. Ow. He did blackface on models and used racist fetishization to. Oh, those models were actually. Oh my God. Oh, I forgot about that. Thank you for reminding me. That was an image I did not need to see. Full body. Oh my God.
Being bludgeoned with a bat, but does that automatically make the person stomping
Milo did it first?
in your face an ally? Would you applaud this person as they kick you in the skull and say, "Wow, this guy's great. We should invite him to CPAC"?
Jesus Christ, Matt, can you quit saying demonetizable? Look, here's what I hate, okay? Like, I'll probably lose monetization for what Matt Walsh just said, okay? But he's not going to. Because the Daily Wire has like a special deal with YouTube. They advertise on YouTube and they get treated in a different standard. They have a personal like liaison to tell them exactly how far they can push it and still keep the cash coming in. That pisses me off so much.
No, he's still your enemy. He's still trying to kill you, just perhaps in a slightly less efficient.
Okay, can you stop talking about unaliving, please?
manner.
Thank you.
See, the curse of the big tent conservatism approach is that now our tent is filled with people who are directly trying to undermine.
Like he's gatekeeping the right.
Our cause. A big tent doesn't do you a lot of good
Oh my
when you're
God.
inviting people
Concierge fascism.
under it who will just try to rip it down and leave all of us standing in the rain, which is
Growing up, I wanted 6 kids. I told my mom at 7 I wanted 6 kids and to be a teacher when she asked me what I wanted for the future.
what's happening.
I mean, if you can do it, do it. That's awesome. I think Neville would get jealous at 6 kids. Hey, what's up, Johnny?
One last point on all this. Star says that we need someone who looks like him to say the things that he says, because if we say it, that is, if normal people who aren't cross-dressing
Yo, like legit, Matt Walsh is like, Jeffree Star, stay out of my lane.
performers say it, then we will
stay out of my lane.
be called bigots and transphobes. Well, except this logic is refuted by his follow-up video.
Yo, I don't even want to think about what their fetishes may or may not be, Sam.
Which he defends himself against
scaring me.
accusations of bigotry and transphobia. So it turns out that tokenism is not actually an effective strategy here. We cannot insulate ourselves.
Matt Walsh, officially against tokenism.
From criticism.
In this one niche instance.
By putting our arguments into the mouths of people who fall into identity.
Wait, what are you going to put in Jeffree Star's mouth? Excuse me? Excuse me?
Categories that the left usually celebrates.
I can't tell if he's just jealous or if he's a little bit like, hey, what's up, Geek Prime? So why is it okay to be a cosplayer? Because that's something that's same thing as being, oh God, not in Tennessee, right? In Tennessee, they'll throw you in jail regardless, right? Oh my God, we got to talk about the Tennessee thing,
I don't know how conservatives keep thinking this strategy will work.
That's the other thing we got to touch on today.
It never has. It never will. Doesn't work. Like, can you give me an example of someone who's in one of these identity groups and they make a conservative, well, not even conservative.
Oh, good point, Dragon Princess. If you do twins, you don't have to be pregnant as many times.
They make a slightly less left-wing argument, and the left goes, well, normally I disagree with that, but this person is an identity group that we support, so I think we'll take it into consideration.
Yeah, we'll touch on Tennessee after Woodstock.
Has that ever happened? Is there one example of that working? No, it doesn't, because the left values ideological conformity over all else. Their vision of diversity is one in which people of all races, ethnicities, sexual orientations, except white males, and made-up genders come together.
Yeah, it's called solidarity. I love how he's like, this is the fucking wildest, wackiest thing of all. People treating each other with respect. Holy shit, right?
To march in lockstep and speak in unison. Anybody who misses a beat or forgets...
March in lockstep and speaking in unison? You do not get to occupy the place you occupy on the far right and talk about people marching in lockstep and speaking in unison. You traditionalist creep show.
The line or tries to improvise will be cast out as not only a bigot, but a traitor as well. See, as it turns out, the people from protected classes who disagree with the left...
Wait, 40 rescued... I thought you said you had 40 rescued fur babies. I was going to say, that's like a big...
Are not given softer treatment or a better chance at a fair hearing. If anything, they're shouted down all the louder and hated all the more. Because on top of saying the things that the left hates, there's also the element of betrayal. Because the left says, well, you're supposed to belong to us because of your identity. That doesn't make the.
Wait, no, this is the dude that wants to police, that wants to give parents dictatorial control over their children's identity. And he's talking about a sense of ownership and entitlement. Come on.
The heretic more credible in the eyes of the left. It just makes them a heretic. Just look at Jeffree Star. He agrees with the left on nearly everything, and he's living exactly the kind of lifestyle they promote, but they still exile him for...
Yeah, he's really into the idea of people owning others.
Mildly criticizing one small facet of gender ideology. Well, that doesn't make him our ally or our friend, but it does prove that this whole, you need people like me to make this argument claim is moot.
Yeah, see, Matt Walsh is...
No, we don't need people like him.
We don't need people like you. I can make this argument, right?
We don't need...
I'm perfectly good at saying what is a woman to people apropos of nothing.
Cross-dressing trans activists with neck tattoos and copious amounts of makeup to make...
Oh my God, so much shade, so much shade.
You know who we need? This goes back to the beginning of the show. We need normal people.
Normal fucking people. Like the most normal person in the world. The guy that wrote Johnny the Walrus. This is the book sitting behind him, right? This guy is so normal. He wrote a children's book to indoctrinate kids against being trans by saying it's the equivalent of somebody's mom forcing them to become a walrus, right? That's how normal
people.
You tell me about normal with your weird ideas about child marriage, Matt Walsh, please.
Like you. Normal, common sense people who live normal lives and dress and act like normal people. We need them to speak up and be.
They didn't pick Jeffree Star, confirmed.
Advocates. Because after all, normalcy is what we're trying to defend, isn't it? The best defender of normalcy is a normal person. And not just one normal person.
He's not normal. That's what he's saying. That's what he's saying.
Legions of them. An army of.
We got an army of normal people to like.
Normal people demanding.
To march in lockstep.
A return to sanity and common sense and basic moral decency.
There you are. You just bitched about like the left marching in lockstep. That's what you're talking about.
Jeffree
right?
Star.
Return to normalcy and decency.
Is not ever going to be.
Normies rise up. Yes.
Effective champion for that cause. But you can be. And that is why Jeffree.
As long as you don't get a neck tattoo, and then you're fucking out.
Star and his
or you get your hair colored in an unnatural color.
Defenders are today.
Stock and Pitchfork.
That'll do it for this portion of the show. So move over to the members block. If you're not a member yet, you can become a member by using code Walsh at checkout for 2 months free on all annual plans.
Does Walsh understand the term normal? Because the things he criticizes sound incredibly normal to me.
Hope to see you over there.
Okay, wow. I don't know what the fuck I just saw. Look, chat, this is gonna be the weirdest, we always talk about a palate cleanser, and usually that term is not meant literally. Like when I talk about a palate cleanser, look, the first thing I'm gonna do is get myself a drink. Okay, I need a drink, because like this is not normal. Okay, nothing about today is normal. From the technical difficulties to Xander Hall talking about poop to like to Scott Adams, like, just normal like alt-right dog whistles, to this Matt Walsh and Jeffree Star stuff. Nothing about today has been normal, okay? But we're gonna do a palate cleanser that's going to be anything but normal, because it's going to be a literal palate cleanser, right? So normally when we say palate cleanser, what I'm talking about is like, okay, I just made you watch some stuff that just like broke your brain. I'm brain broken right now. I'm so brain broken right now. Everything that I've been watching has destroyed me. I am destroyed, like, right? Everything about everything that I've all the things that like I have watched today have just destroyed me, right? And so I need a drink, right? Cheers. If you want to like drink, this is Mio. This is caffeine that I'm drinking right here. What do you call this? Like a caffeine water enhancer or something? Yeah, it's a water enhancer. Oh my god, I should be getting paid. Saberspark. We're gonna do Saberspark too. Yeah, Saberspark is Saberspark canceled? What is this all about? Some of you may know what Saberspark has been talking about lately, and you might know what I'm talking about. No, conservative Christians literally use a different language than the rest of us. They use the same words, but they define them differently. True. They're not even dog whistles anymore. They're like air raid sirens. Okay. So I said I was going to give you a palate cleanser. I said it's not going to be a normal palate cleanser. But it's going to be a literal palate cleanser, okay? So literally cleansing your palate with what? What are we cleansing your palate with? That's right, HelloFresh. Literal palate cleanser, okay? So this is my new sponsor, right? Last month we did Babel language app, right? So some of you got to learn a new language, and I got to brush up on my French. This time, that wasn't striking enough. Okay, let me try that again. I gotta like impress you with this. There we go. That's impressive, right? Look, we're gonna be normal, and we're gonna cleanse your palate literally with some really delicious stuff from HelloFresh. So here we go. Yeah, this is my box of HelloFresh. It just came. All right. I've never done this before. I've never ordered a meal kit before, so this is a new thing for me. I think I've been sponsored by them before, but I just didn't know how to order a meal kit in a way that didn't, you know. But this time they've decided to do right by their content creators and actually give me this meal kit so that I could show you. All right. So let's take a look what I've got here. It's got directions here. Unpack kit bags. Bags can go straight into the recycling with the separator. Empty ice packs. Once they've been melted, drain and dispose of as directed. Okay. Visit our site. Almost all our liners are recyclable. And you break down the box. Okay, so this is all recyclable. You can break down this box and recycle it. Look what I've got. Okay. We've got a little orientation here. Welcome to America's #1 meal kit. There's an app. You can download an app, so that makes it easier. You can save money and time. You can save the environment, or at least be a little gentler on the environment. They've got delicious recipes. I actually got a vegan, recipe here. I got some cool stuff, right? So I'm vegan. I don't eat meat. They actually had something specifically for me. I'm vegan and gluten-free, so I'm a picky eater, and there was something for me. So, like, regardless of what your dietary needs, dietary necessities are, they're gonna have something for you as well, right? 5-star recipes, flex us to your lifestyle. You can change your delivery date. If the one that they give you is not convenient, you can switch it around. There's rewards. Looks like every 1, 2, 3, 4th box. So like there's like 8 boxes here. The 4th, the 6th, and the 8th are free. If you order 8 boxes in 12 weeks, you can get this like kind of deal through my affiliate code. So if you want to check this out, press !HelloFresh. And it's gonna give you the details. Use my see that there's like a code, right? I think it says like POG or something like that, right? Free shipping. It's telling me, yeah, it's this code right here, POG HF 97633, and you can get 60% off of that. Okay, so anyway, that's that. And then what do I have here? Vegan Turkish spice chickpea bowls. All right, so this is my meal that I got. It tells me what my ingredients are, what all I should expect to be in this package, what all I've got, and tells me how long it takes to prep, how long it takes to cook, and how many calories I'm going to be eating, right? So staying healthy, right? Keeping your calories, right? 850 calories in this meal. So yeah, it shows you, here's your directions and everything. All right, and look at this. I got three gift cards to give to friends that they can get a free box and $15 off their 2nd and 3rd box. So it even benefits your friends. All right. So what do we have here? Turkish spice chickpea bowl. Okay, so let me take a look. Let me show you what I got here. I got, these are chives, all right? So I got chives. I got cilantro. We're getting fancy already, and that's the other thing is like you can eat kind of fancy and you're gonna save money. It's 28% less than what you pay for the stuff at the grocery store, right? So we got basmati rice right here, already measured out for you. We got tomatoes. We got, what is this? Hummus. Look at that. I got hummus. All right. I got hummus that goes with this. We got chickpeas. Okay. Chickpeas. We got spice right here. We got a couple different spice packs, it looks like. I've got an onion, a red onion. I've got, what is this, mushrooms? No, pistachios. Look at that. Like, fancy. I'm telling you, this is fancy, okay? I've got a lemon. And then what else? Oh, look at this, golden raisins. Golden raisins. So yeah, very, very fancy. And not only that, but I have just enough garlic for my meal. So there it is. That is my meal pack. I'm going to put this stuff all the way back in here, and I'm going to put this in the refrigerator for later. I will try to cook this on camera, either on stream or in a video, just to show you how easy it can be to cook your delicious meal from HelloFresh when you order this, and get 60% off with my affiliate code. But there we go, right? That is what you get in a box of HelloFresh. And like I said, like I'm a picky eater, I'm vegan, and I don't eat gluten, and they were able to accommodate me with that, so I think they can accommodate you as well. So check it out. Just type in HelloFresh and you can get all the details. All the details for our deals. Okay, so yeah, thank you for that was my first commercial, right? Did I do okay? Did I do okay on my commercial? They do make you supply your own cooking oil for some recipes. Interesting. Excuse me. The ingredients like that mean you can leave out ingredients. Yeah. So it's all packaged separately. So if there's like something like, let's say you're allergic to pistachios, right? Yeah, like, I mean, in fact, I think you could probably even tell them like not to send them, but you know, let's say you get something that you really don't want to eat. Like it's in a packet separate from everything else, right? It's not gonna, your food's not going to taste like that. It's not pre-made, like, right? So you can kind of like, you know, put in and take out what you want to use. Or, you know, let's say that you were like, you know, I really like lime in my food and not lemon, and I've got a lime in my fridge. You can do that, right? It's all it's super easy. It's super quick like that, and you don't have to think about it, right? You get it delivered to you, so you don't have to go to the grocery store in the first place, which, you know, can be a little bit of a challenge depending on, you know, what the weather is like in the part of the country that you're in. And you also, you know, like it's so much easier than having to kind of put it all together by yourself. So you're going to save time, you're going to save some money. And like I said, all this stuff is recyclable, so you can minimize your impact on the environment as well. Anyway, that is HelloFresh. Yeah, I'll be like letting you know a little bit more about that as time goes on. But we'll do little shout outs for that. But yeah, that was like the longest segment that I will do for HelloFresh. So anyway, what do we got here? We got